The following is a presentation of the Missouri Sports Network.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. And it's sponsored by Great Southern Bank. Great Southern Bank with more than 100 locations in 6 states. Great Southern Bank that cares as much about your money as you do. Member FDIC. Well, we continue our trips around the state of Missouri. We go to Maryville High School. We welcome in Spoof Hounds head football coach Matt Webb. Coach Webb, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Guy.
And Coach, we have a new rule on the show that to become a friend of the show, you have to make at least 3 appearances. Well, you've done it, so you are officially now a friend of the show, and we appreciate you your loyalty all these many years.
Well, how about that? It's always nice to have more friends and foes, especially in the world of athletics. So I'll take as many friends as I can get this time of year, especially.
Coach, 9-5 a year ago, made a great run. 2 of those losses were to the same team. Tell us a little bit about what you're having to replace because of graduation, and maybe who are some of those folks stepping into those roles.
Yeah, you look at our season last year, and like you mentioned, 9-5. We started off our season with a loss to Blair Oaks, and we finished in the state semifinals with a loss to Blair Oaks. The eventual, Class 3 state champion. And then one of our other losses was the Class 4 Lutheran North. And then you look at a Class 5 loss to St. Pius on our schedule. And then a Class 4 loss to Savannah. Who's certainly got their program, headed in the right direction. And Anthony Hayes has done a great job with that program and our rivals. So 5 losses and certainly not. In our opinion, no loss is a good loss, but certainly to quality opponents. But I really feel like our schedule, as we'll talk about this year's schedule, but year in and year out, I think we try and put competitive teams on our schedule to prepare us for playoff runs, and finishing with state semifinal loss, to Blair Oaks, in the snow down there in Wardsville. You look at in the fourth quarter, it's tied 14-14, and 2 good teams battling it out, and then a really great football game, and they made the plays to win it in the end, and we did not, and they certainly deserve all the credit. So tough way to end the season, but at the same time, a lot of things to look forward to from last year going into this year.
What what are the numbers like? What did you lose to graduation, and how many roles that you're going to have to fill coming into this season?
Yeah, every year we coaches talk about restocking and having depth and those things. I think one of the things we pride ourselves on is a saying, that says tradition never graduates. And when you have that kind of mindset that we're going to play a lot of depth, and we get a guys a lot of pivotal roles. You don't, when you lose some seniors due to attrition, and that's the thing that naturally happens. You've got some good depth that has experience. So I think on defense, we lose some key players. We had some our defensive backs. Cole Zarbano was a 3-year starter for us at safety. Made a lot of plays. Gus McCullough is going to continue on, and obviously when you lose a player of his ability that the plays he made a linebacker, and he'll be a Northwest Bearcat, and that level of player is hard to replace, and certainly made a lot of key plays. And then our defensive ends, we lose both of those in Major Scarborough and Lucas Viertaler. But we've got some guys on that side of the ball that we feel are have had some great reps and some good depth roles. That'll be their senior times to make plays. Guys like Xander Brown at defensive end, guys like Ben Jaster in the defensive backfield, and guys that'll continue to be seniors in the backfield, in the defensive backfield, like um, key guys that got a lot of depth and playing time as juniors. Will be Brett Long at corner. On the offensive side, our quarterback's returning in Jackson Dredge. Jackson was kind of thrust into that role due to injury last year as a sophomore. He'll be a junior this year, and certainly he's not a guy that you feel like, oh, it's going to be his first time starting. Jackson played half the season last year for us, and really, made some great plays. He's an excellent athlete. Expect big things out of him. A player that's been seems like he's been here for a long time. But plays on both sides of the ball. Sadler View, he'll be a senior. He's a linebacker and a running back for us. Our fullback and our wing T stuff is Luke Allen. Luke will be a junior for us, really good football player. And then it all starts and ends up front. We've got some great returning offensive linemen that are going to really pave the road and do some great things for us this year.
Coach, what's the summer been like? The summer workouts, obviously, over the past 2 decades, one of the winningest programs in the state of Missouri. You mentioned tradition doesn't graduate, so your summers have had to been good, as far as attendance and things like that. What have they been like up to this point?
Yeah, it's rinse and repeat is what we talk about up here. It's the time of year when this seasons are I think is always a joke when it's a 365-day a year program when you do it the right way. And we got through the winter program, we got through our spring program, kind of what we've done in the past, and then once Memorial Day hits, it's summer and football time, and our kids know what that's like. We start the Tuesday after Memorial Day with our summer weight program, and our kids are fully invested in that. Every coach says how important it is, but again, we talk about tradition, and that's been done here a long time. And the kids buy into it, and so they're here in the morning times working out. We go to team camp here at Northwest Missouri State, and have some great competition there in June. And then we have the dead weeks, and I think one of the things that we try and really emphasize to our kids is, hey, when it's time to work, let's get our work in. But at the same time, we want those dead weeks. I think it's important for kids to get away and go on family vacations, go on fishing trips, get a summer job, do the things that get you away from football, because when August 11th hits, we ask 100% commitment, and it's hard to do that at a 365 day a year level, without it being mundane and worn down and not that excitement of high school football. This time of year, from a high school football coach, it's the best time of the year. You love it. You live for it. You're done with summer weights. You're done with vacations, and it's okay. Let's get back into our routine of putting on the pads and going to special teams practices, learning our schemes, getting polished up. Jamborees around the corner, and week one will be here before you know it. So we've had a great summer. I'm really excited to get next week started.
Yeah, Monday it kicks off for real, on August 11th. Then you got the Jamboree on the 22nd. Where is your Jamboree?
We'll be jamboreeing at Raytown South this year, against the same teams, against William Christman, Raytown South, and Kansas City Center. Done that for the last few years. Some really good, a little bit bigger programs than us, but gets us into a good jamboree and get out of there and move on to week one.
In week one, obviously you got Blair Oaks, and your schedule's not complete on the Mission site yet, but you're at Lincoln College Prep, and you got Lutheran North on your schedule again. Between now and the 22nd, the Jamborees. What are your goals for your team outside of staying healthy? Obviously, staying healthy is number one. But what are some things you're looking to accomplish there in that first 11 days?
Well, we want to get ourselves, really kind of back into the routine, get us, into the idea of hitting the pads. The kids know our schemes through our summer program. It's not a lot of, new schemes to our kids. It's really taking and adjusting it and making sure that we are as healthy as we can possibly be. A lot of that, obviously deals with how we deal with nutrition. It's going to be hot. Today's day and age, you deal with temperatures and wet bulb and hydration, and you want to be healthy. You want to be healthy for Jamboree, and you want to be healthy going into the season. We're traditionally playing long seasons, like I said, getting into playoff runs, and you want your best 11. We've got great depth, we've got great numbers. We're right around somewhere between 65 and 70 for a Class 3 program, and our school enrollment size of just over 400. So we want to make sure the kids get healthy and happy, and be are in great mindsets. Open up season. So our goals are to start working on Blair Oaks, start working on Jamboree, getting our base plays down, getting that team camaraderie close knit. It's obviously the kids have a lot of, with school starting back, and the traditions they like to do around here, just like at every school, whether that's painting your parking spot or going to registration. The seniors get to be seniors, and then here come the freshmen. It's a whole new different world, and you're lucky that they can find their locker on the first day of school and not get lost in a hallway or feel stupid on that first practice and you've accomplished something one. So, freshmen are freshmen, but at the same time, they're spoof hounds and we're excited to get them here. So really, it's just kind of that rinse and repeat mode of setting goals to go 1-0 every week.
Again, we're visiting with Maryville Spoof Hounds head coach, head football coach Matt Webb. Coach, as you're heading into this season, what you talk a little bit about your conference. Some folks, that are viewing may not know what conference you're in, who the members are, and conferences have just completely changed over the past 4 or 5 years. Handicap that your conference a little bit.
Yeah, that's we're going through some transition. We're in the Midland Empire Conference, and schools are predominantly north of Highway 36 and C is
There
is
you go.
is the St. Pius out of Kansas City has been in the MEC years, and they've decided to leave our conference last year with some classification with what they're doing up to Class 5 with football. So we'll be adding, not this year, but we'll be adding a conference school in 2026, which will be Excelsior Springs will be officially joining our conference. They're not in it this year, but they will be in it 26. So that's caused us all to go find a game this year on the football schedule. So our schedule starts, the MEC. You look at, like I said, Maryville's in it. There's two St. Joe schools, the football playing schools in the MEC in Benton and Lafayette. And then you have Cameron, Chillicothe, and Savannah. Next year, Excelsior will be joining it. So when you look at the Class 3 schools are traditionally us, Chillicothe, and Cameron. Usually somewhere Benton is sometimes in that Class 3 range or Class 4. Lafayette's kind of the same, but depending on their enrollment numbers, and then Savannah will be Class 4, like I said. A really good conference. The thing I like about it is it gives you a wide variety of coaches, really good coaches. There's teams that run the flex zone, there's teams that run the spread, there's teams that run power, pro eye sets, and then our non-conference schedule this year. Like I said, we open up with Blair Oaks, we play at Pleasant Hill, and then we play at Lincoln College Prep, and then later on Lutheran North. So four schools, four opponents that are non-con, and then four schools that are, or five schools that are our conference opponents.
Outstanding. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time, and we look forward to visiting throughout the year. On the nights where you guys win, we'll get you on the show, our live high school football scoreboard show that airs every Friday night from 9:30 to 11. And it's
Did I lose you, Guy?
No, I'm here. You're here. I can hear you, Coach. All right, Coach, you're still with me if you can hear me.
Guy, I'm afraid I lost you.
Okay. Well, hey, we're going to take a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Leaders know there's no guide to greatness. When everyone else says something can't be done, they know it only hasn't been done. Yet. True leaders weather the fiercest storms and look deep within themselves to rise above and help others find their way forward. At Great Southern Bay, we're proud to partner with visionaries that help raise the tide for all of us. And when you're ready to bring your vision to life, we'll be right behind you with award-winning support.